My next question is for both Bob and George. I wonder if you could talk about some of the challenges that you face in working with local growers. What are the challenges in carrying or sourcing local foods in your stores? Go ahead, Bob.
Probably the biggest challenge we have is actually having the actual grower that either comes to us or makes their products available. The other problem is the amount of the product that is available. In the situation with Dr. Connor, I mean, he has beautiful basil, and I mean, it's tremendous, but we just, with the amount of traffic we have, it's just, it doesn't go around, or it doesn't last very long. So many situations with the local food and from the different companies or growers that we buy from is the limited supply. And I guess supply is probably our biggest challenge, is not being able to get enough product. I do think that is changing though, because I think the younger generation is changing that. Mellon Acres, for example, and maybe you're familiar with them down in Oaktown. The dad, he would load everything up and take it to Indy Fruit or Kaido or St. Louis, and I mean he was content to sell his whole amount of melons, all of his product to a large distribution center. His daughter, who's just now graduating from Purdue, she wants to turn that around, and she's actually approached us, and she has tomatoes, she has asparagus, she has corn and melons, and she wants to sell it to individual stores like ourselves. So I think that particular challenge is changing.
Yeah, Bob, I concur. Currently, the biggest issue that we face is indeed that supply and demand issue. The demand is very high for local food, and we simply aren't able to source as much as we'd like to. Some of the other things that you bump up against being a retailer that challenge you when working with local providers, the most obvious one is it costs more to do so. The amount of labor that is spent, if you deal directly with a single distributor, Bob mentioned a couple, Indy Fruit or Kaito out in Indianapolis, you place one phone call, one order, and you receive one delivery. It's pretty cut and dried, and almost all the time those items are in stock and the truck shows up at 6 a.m. when it's supposed to or whatever. When you make the commitment and decide to support local providers, all of a sudden you're now dealing with 100 vendors in our case. Well, how many was it, Ellen? What was the last count?
150 or
100. It's incredible, the scope that you have to deal with. And that means you also have to stop and take 150 deliveries. And it really takes a commitment on the part of the organization to do that. It's so much simpler just to say, I'm going to make one phone call and one delivery. But if it's a core value, something that you truly value and support and recognize that it broadens and strengthens your community, you make that commitment and you do it. So that's one of the challenges that we bump up against, is it's not easy doing it. It's something that we do joyously most days, but it does take a little more work. The other issue that we bump up against, the other challenge that we have as a retailer, particularly being a community-owned business, is we exist to provide the goods and services that our member owners wish to receive. What our member owners wish to receive is, I was about to say cheap food, but what they want to do, they want the best possible price on their food. Also, those member owners' values are to support a local food system. You've maybe connected the two dots here and realized that being the middleman, we're between a rock and a hard place, trying to provide our consumer with the best possible price for the goods they want, and at the same time pay that local farmer that we want to see grow and succeed the highest possible price for that produce. And it's a delicate dance. It's a tightrope that you have to walk that is a real challenge. And my produce managers probably deserve medals for trying to do that balancing act. The people that really deserve medals are the people that grow the food, and I just wanted to make sure that I remembered to get that comment in, if I haven't made it already, that the real heroes in this country and what we really need to get people to recognize. And I love watching Peyton Manning play football. Well, not this season, but I love watching sports. It's great to have heroes and all those kinds of things. But the people that feed us in this country really are the heroes, and we need to recognize that. So tell a friend that. Okay?